Appointing property season and no doubt helped by Primetime's expose of mortgage and auctioneering firms, more and more people are choosing to sell their homes privately. But there are a number of mistakes sellers make and pitfalls they need to avoid.
Fiona McLaughlin from privateseller.ie joins us now with her predictions for the property market in 2007 and advice for anyone trying to sell their home this year. Fiona, thanks very much for joining us this morning. Now, a lot more people, we were just discussing during the break, are trying to sell their properties themselves, but it is very daunting and it is quite a terrifying prospect to undertake. We mentioned there some of the pitfalls. What are the do's and don'ts, basically?
Well, the do's and don'ts, first of all, when people come to us, the one thing that they do, particularly if they're listing themselves and they're not looking for advice from us, is that they price too high. So in pricing too high, they're actually stopping people from coming to have a look at their property. The market will tell you what the value of your property is. If you put up a price, you know, I get people saying all the time, no, I won't put it on for a penny less or whatever. And what I always say is that private selling is about being in control. So you're absolutely entitled to put up whatever price you do want to put up on your property. But we like people to make informed decisions. So we do advise them to go have a look around the internet, like all the buyers that will be looking at your property will also be doing, and see what similar properties are actually guiding at. If you see a property that has been on sale for the last 8 months or a year or whatever, don't use that as your benchmark. Use the houses that are selling around you as your benchmark. If you price too high, what happens is you lose the margin of people that draw a line in the sand past which they won't go to see a property. And yet if they come and see your property and like it, they'll frequently, and in an awful lot of cases, bid up. So what you want to do is to widen the market for your property, and you do that by guiding lower rather than higher, getting people in to see your property, presenting it well, and then them liking it, and hopefully two bidders bidding against each other to bid up to the price that you want.
Okay, and we've got a little graphic now with some of the tips that you're suggesting this morning. Preparing your property for sale. What does that just mean, getting it tidy and nice and neat, or what does that involve?
It's really common sense. I mean, you know, the whole privateseller.ie has the trademark for staging in Ireland, and I trained with the lady who created the whole concept in the States, and it really does impact on price and the speed of sale if you prepare your property for sale. There's a spectrum of staging, from the cleaning and cluttering right up to the parking the fancy car outside the house and having the pearls beside the bedside. The most important part of that spectrum is the cleaning and the decluttering and the depersonalising.
It's like going on a date, scrub up well.
Absolutely. As they say in the States, you know, detail your house as you detail your car. You know, if you were going to sell your car.
Sense, but when you go and look at houses, you're like, geez, why didn't they make a bit of an effort? And
it's not just about common sense, you know. I mean, I've been going into houses for a number of years now, and all my associates are trained in the basics of staging so that they can go in. It's about objectivity, I think, more than common sense. When you're living in a place, it functions according to your needs, whereas when you're selling it, it's hard to flip back into, well, maybe I'll put that there. It's not practical, but it looks better.
So in other words, what looks mildly grubby to you in your house is actually filthy as far as somebody else is concerned.
Absolutely.
Well, if you've got 4 kids, you don't have much choice where mildly grumpy is concerned, I can tell you. Erect a for sale board. Now, that seems fairly self-evident, I suppose, doesn't it?
It is, but a lot of people that are looking to advertise on the internet, and particularly with the proliferation of websites now that you can advertise on, it's an intriguing thing that we find that people want to advertise on the internet and not put up a for sale board outside. Again, in terms of making an informed decision, all I say to sellers is that you need to be aware that 40 to 60% of sales leads are still generated by for sale boards, and even auctioneers will tell you that. So you're really decreasing the market for your property. The majority of properties are still bought locally.
Of course, if you're doing it yourself, you see, the auctioneer does that for you, right? So how do you get a for sale board?
Yeah. Well, privateseller.ie
and a piece of cardboard, are you?
For €190, privateseller.ie provides a fully branded privateseller.ie for sale board and the listing on the website until sold, and you have access to support and advice at head office at any time during the selling process.
Was that a plug by any chance?
Just a little bit.
Just a matter of interest, how much will an auctioneer charge you for that service?
For the for sale board, well, it's interesting. It differs between auctioneers, but some of them will give you a price on the board and others won't. But really, a for sale board shouldn't equate to much more than €50 if they're printing any volume of them, really.
Okay.
Okay. Now, just to
look ahead.
Right, advertise on the internet and don't sign away sole letting rights.
Sole selling rights,
sole
yes.
Selling rights,
this is advice that's becoming more and more important because, you know, as a result of the slowdown in the market, we've had a huge increase in people looking to try selling privately. And some people have signed away their sole selling rights. If you're in a sole agency agreement, that means that no other agent can sell your property, but you still retain the right to sell your property yourself. If, however, you sign away your sole selling rights, your rights to actually sell yourself, then you can't sell privately.
How can you actually do that?
Yeah. Well, a lot of contracts are being pulled out now to make sure that people are tied into the agent that wants to sell their property.
So you're basically saying that I sign an arrangement with you and that means that only you can sell my property?
No, not in all cases. What I'm saying is don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, you may be requested to do that. If somebody wants to, I mean, a lot of agencies do want a sole agency agreement, i.e., you know, we're going to sell your property and the commission that we charge is based on the fact that we're going to be the only agents that are going to sell your property.
Fair enough, I suppose, yeah, if they can get that.
But you're still entitled to sell your property yourself, because a lot of people selling privately are also listed with an auctioneer. So it's great for them, it's much better for the consumer, it keeps both sides on their toes and they're getting a much better service. However, they can't do that, they can't do the double if they've signed away their sole selling rights. So it's just to be careful when if they're presented with the contract to check the small print.
Predictions.
2007, prices up or down or staying where they are?
Prices up or down? Well, I think definitely the prices have slowed down already. Predictions, I think, from between 3% to 7% are fairly accurate. You know, on one hand, we do have the interest rate increases, which definitely have a dampening effect on house prices. And we have a buoyant supply of housing units in 2007, predicted between 85,000 and 90,000. On the other hand, we do have significant immigration and a predicted population increase of 100,000. So that acts as a counterforce, and we also have a very buoyant economy with increasing household income.
But that'd be good for the rental market, not necessarily for the selling market, though, wouldn't it?
Well, they're counterforces for both. Yeah. So really, you're looking. What will result, I think, is a modest increase in house prices. It'll definitely be single digit. I don't think anybody is predicting double digit for the next year, but I don't see a major hard landing or anything like that.
Okay. And you're expecting more investor money to go abroad rather than stay at home?
Well, you know, Irish people have a cultural and intrinsic inclination towards property, and the less value there is to be here, the more it'll push them abroad, because they won't just give up their inclination to invest in property. They'll just start looking at more emerging markets, maybe in Cape Verde or Morocco or new markets like that, to try and replicate the experience of the past decade and more.
Very quickly, just before we finish up, the new regulations won't protect. What do you mean by that?
New regulations won't protect, in that the legislation for the regulatory board was set up or passed just before Christmas, which is great and really is to be lauded, and they will have powers for policing and sanctioning, etc. However, the regulations surrounding booking deposits and misleading advertising, etc., will still have to be developed by that body once they're in place. So I think the full protection from those regulations and from the body won't be in place.
Well, it's an area that could do with a lot more legislation and, more importantly, a lot more policing of the legislation. I think we'd all agree. Anyway, for those of you at home who are thinking possibly of going into the property market, selling your home or whatever, well, then you could do an awful lot worse than check out privateseller.ie, and you get personal attention from the fabulous Fiona. Congratulations. You can't believe this woman's had a baby recently. She's amazing on it.
Thank you very much.
Glowing, Fiona. Thank you very much for coming on the show this morning.
We're a bit late.
Let's take the news of the lane.